My mom came to live with us early in her life. She was in her 50s and I was an only child, and she had a home and we had a home, and Dick couldn't take care of both homes, so we decided that Mom would move in with us, and it was delightful. She helped with the kids and she was a part of our family and everything we did. But as all people do, they grow old, and as my mom grew old, she became very scared to be alone. So we contacted Comfort Keepers at the time, and we had told them what we were looking for, and Mike McGee owned that event at the time, and he came over and he was talking to my mom and says, "Oh, we can take care of this, you know," and every time he would look down to do the paper, my mom would stick her tongue out at him. She was not happy. She did not want a babysitter. She knew that she could take care of herself and she didn't want anybody else in the house. But we persuaded her that we're going to try this. So I'd say the first 4 to 5 people that came to the house didn't last because my mom would run them off. One time I came home and she's at the front door and she's saying, "Get out of here and don't come back." So by a miracle, the next person that shows up is Karen Mason. Karen joined our family in 2006. You couldn't have met a better person anywhere. And my mom fell in love with her, and Karen was just everything to us. She fit right into the family. She was like my sister. She was with us all the time, and in fact, at that point in time, we hired her away from Comfort Keepers. And so she was ours to just be with us whenever we needed it. So it was on a December 23rd of 2011 that we're sitting there in the kitchen, and I'm in the kitchen and she walks in, and I went over to kiss her because I always said good morning and gave her a kiss, and she goes, "No, no, 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 you better stay away from me." I go, "What's the matter?" She said, "Well, I've got this pain." And I said, "How long have you had it?" And she said, "A couple days." And I said, "Well, you know, we're going to Florida." I said, "Don't you think you ought to go to the doctor?" "Oh, I'll go later." And I said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "Maybe you need to see the doctor sooner than later, you know, after you get to Florida, who are you going to look at?" So I talked her into going over to the hospital, so put her in the car and we go over to the hospital. She goes into the emergency room, and 5 hours later she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Not what anybody wants to hear. And Karen was a fighter, so she never came back to work after that. She just didn't have it in her. She couldn't. She was very sick, and luckily her son Danny moved home and stayed with her, and she lived for 14 months to the day when she passed away. And during that time that she was still alive, she would come over and we'd sit and talk. And one thing we knew about is that, you know, we knew that caregivers are very, very important in a lot of families. And it's very important that we would do something for these caregivers because, you know, they are always doing for others. They never get anything for themselves. So we decided that we were going to make an award in Karen's name, and that we were going to give a gift to these award winners. We're going to give them luncheon and we're going to give them a trophy, but what we really want them to have is something that is something for them to enjoy, something for them to have. So we set that up, and after Karen passed away, we started the first Caring Like Karen, and we've been at it ever since. And we have heard so many wonderful stories through the years, and it's just every time I think of Karen and how proud she would be, and how wonderful it is that we have all these wonderful people in our community who help others. And it's nice to just have one day a year where we sit and we recognize those people and we give them an award of at least $1,000 value. So I hope that, I want to thank all the people that make this possible. I want to thank, of course, first of all, the sponsors, and then of course the nominators, and then the recipients, and then those of you that are sitting here today as our guests, and of course everybody behind the scenes that help. And I thank you very much for being here today, and I can't wait for you to meet the outstanding caregivers for 2019. Thank you.